Well, hello and welcome to Beyond the Sale, a roundtable of challenging technology where we discuss trends, insights, and hardships in point of sale and provide education on how to handle them. I'm Kate Aurora, Channel Account Manager Team Lead at SpacePole, and I want to thank you for joining us in this episode. We're going to talk about perfecting the new drive-through experience now that the novel coronavirus has pretty much consumed the world. Since COVID-19 has rocked the globe, many essential businesses, stores, and restaurants that remain open are looking for ways to not only protect the health and safety of the customers, but also those of their employees. So, in this episode, Beyond the Sale is focusing on fast food or QSR restaurants and industry, thoughts that need to be considered, specifically at the drive through. So I'm joined today by Corey Dean. He's inside sales representative at SpacePole and is our special guest. He's had many conversations with QSR operators regarding their valid concerns and understands what is needed to improve the overall experience to gain repeat business and peace of mind to the employees working at the window. So thanks for joining me, Corey.
Thank you for having me, Kate. Lovely to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. So we'll just go ahead and kick it off. I know that you have not only talked to the QSR concepts directly, but also the dealers who are providing them their hardware. So with that, what has been some of the top concerns with those that you've talked to?
Yeah, so these restaurants, they're having to shift their entire business models. Removing the dine-in options, really puts a spotlight on the drive-through and the curbside stuff. So, the ones that are already invested heavily into those options, they're doing pretty well, actually. The ones that are not are struggling a bit. Top concern for the restaurants really seems to be just following compliances. A lot of these things are a little bit, go against from the traditional ways they make money and that they're used to. So they've been reaching out to help. Hardware dealers helping them out, they're trying their best to be the trusted advisor. It's really tough for them to know what's working right now. Good resellers going to bring different market perspectives, navigate through options, trying to help avoid some landmines. Right now, we're all learning about this stuff at the same time. So it's tough for any of these dealers to really know where any landmines are, get ahead of the curve. So just all in all, I think there's a lack of knowledge and just lack of knowing where to turn. That's the biggest frustration I'm seeing.
Okay. And so what are some other considerations that maybe haven't come up, but should be a topic of concern to the fast food operators regarding their drive-throughs?
I think that things are not going back to normal after this. This is not just a season that we need to ride out and just try and stay above the waves. So, even when the policies, everything opens back up and we can go back to dine in, things are still going to be different. I think that a lot of these restaurants and dealers are looking at the triage mode and they're just trying to survive right now. But not a lot of people are thinking, okay, long term, post corona, what do we do now? What's the long-term effects that this is going to be having? Maybe I shouldn't be making split decisions, but I should really be thinking about what does my business look like in the future.
Yeah. So, and even taking it a step further, lots of articles talking about the frontline workers, because now restaurant operators or food fast food workers and are considered frontline workers. So even an article in Business Insider, these workers are not only dealing with the fear of being infected by the virus, since they're having a hard time maintaining that social distancing, but they're also dealing with rude customers. I guess customers that maybe are upset with the efficiencies, and those workers are even isolating themselves from their families. So that's obviously going to kill your morale. Even asking for hazard pay from their employees to protect themselves. So what can fast food operators invest in to not only ensure they care about their employees' safety, but also save the restaurants themselves from potential financial risks down the road?
I can't say that I blame them. Honestly, it's a scary time. There's a lot of unknowns, like we said before, and these guys are the front lines. They're the ones the most exposed by any of this. I'm sure that I've ruined a couple people's days. Been rude, been the impatient guy, late to work. So I can imagine. But they want safety. Hazard pay really doesn't help against COVID. I think it's just an easy way for these guys to say, hey, we're in a scary position right now. And the reality is, businesses, if you protect your employees, you protect yourself. And so there are actually already products that are on the market built to do that, stuff that's being used in high traffic environments that can be shifted just a little bit. We've seen sneeze guards and plexiglass shields are nothing new for buffet restaurants that protect food. we're just seeing, a necessity of them everywhere now to protect the people instead. So SpacePole, we have a plexiglass shield coming out. We have a drive-through payment paddle that has been out for over a year. Just already limiting the exposure between drive-through employee and the customers. Like, these solutions do exist, and people are loving them. Employees feel safer. Customers appreciate an obvious push for protection. Limited exposure right now is the king of marketing. It's a legitimate value point, not a play. It's not a marketing gimmick. People will flock to places that have a safe drive-through, that have a safe environment.
Absolutely. Taking that a step further, some of these fast food employees have actually been quoted that the restaurants should, quote, cut out the drive-through window and stick with delivery only and just deal with the sales loss, end quote. So how would you convince those employees that that's a bad idea, and how the SpacePole drive-through solution you mentioned can change that mindset?
I think it's the same complaint, as the hazard pay request. So I think that you have two different types of employees. Some that are, say, hey, this is now a much more dangerous position, and you're going to have to pay me more to do that same job. And you're going to have others that say, yes, it's a dangerous position, and there's nothing you can do to pay me to want to do that. I think you just have to dig a little bit deeper to the root of what both of those concerns are. If you can change the environment that they're in to make sure that they feel safe working there, that they are safe working there, I think both of those go out the window.
Good point. So obviously, you've got some of those SpacePole drive-through arms out there. So what has been the feedback so far from the customers and maybe the partners that have sold them currently at this moment?
It's been really positive. This is, they're simple solutions. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. People have been making a lot of pilot orders, and now they're wanting more and more and more of them on the rollout. I think that's the best feedback that you can get, is, hey, the pilot and the demo has worked. How do I buy more of them? Like right now we're seeing a lot of people that even while they're waiting, to get these out to the restaurants, they're attaching terminals to broomsticks and shoving them out a window. We've seen hockey sticks and shoving them out a window. A+ forever in a pinch situation, but clearly driving home the point that this stuff does help. So ours, SpacePole, it's an aluminum thing, and so for more plasticky composite options, broomsticks, hockey sticks, things like that, anything plastic, obviously it's a little quicker to break. For some of the more heavy options we've seen, they're a little too industrial. These terminals are actually a little bit finicky. So with a heavy solution like that, I mean, it's going to carry some momentum every time you put it down over and over again. And so we're seeing those guys are actually having their terminals glitch out. You need to take them offline. You need to have them restarted. You're just slowing down your drive-through. It's a little too heavy to put down delicately and quickly. And so as those demos are rolling out, we're learning more and more about these things.
Okay. And installation on a rating of 1 to 10 on difficulty?
I'd say 2 out of 10. We have a manual if you need it, if you really, really need it, but we try and make, again, very simple. It does only what it's supposed to do.
Okay. Another thing that's obviously we're way behind in is contactless payments. They exist in the US, but it's not exactly as prevalent as other countries such as Canada, United Kingdom, and pretty much all of Europe. So do you think that drive-throughs should make sure that this option is available moving forward, and why?
Yes, it should definitely be an option. Like we mentioned earlier, this is not going away anytime soon. Ease of doing business right now and just a quick payment transaction it's a must-have these days. We've even seen people that are just starting to expect it. I think that the safety push for COVID is what's starting all of these things. People, pushing people. Honestly, like me, I don't know if I've ever done the contactless. In the past, it seemed like a luxury. It's kind of a cool little toy, but you're seeing right now it's pushing and forcing people to start to really embrace this, and everybody I know is falling in love with it. Used to be a luxury, used to be a little bit of a bougie thing, but I mean, you see how easy it is, how non-invasive it is, just how quick and safe it is. I think that I will soon be a supporter of it. I have yet to do it yet. I don't have a card that does it yet, but if I can get that, I think that I'll be coming on board soon.
You will be soon. You will be soon. Well, I think that's about it. I'm about to wrap up. Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I think it's it's quick and simple. Again, we're learning more and more about the stuff every day, so I think that even by next week we'll know more. But this is what we've got so far. I think it's a good cut.
Yeah. So, I mean, in conclusion, having a drive-through extension arm or something like that, or especially the SpacePole solution, which is ergonomically friendly, where the customer can process their payment, it'll create the safety for the employees and the consumer. It'll also probably make things more efficient. So maybe you wouldn't have those rude customers because
Hmm.
they're actually getting their fast food fast. So we hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Sale, perfecting the new drive-through experience. And we encourage you to learn more about us by visiting our website, www.spacepole.com, or you can call us by the number. We'll make sure to link it in the comments. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. We'll also provide those handles to you on the screen and in the comments. But thanks again today for listening to us. Thanks, Corey, for your time. And the team at Spacepole wishes you a very healthy and wonderful day.